You are listening to Proof Text, a Glossa House podcast exploring Scripture and all things related to it. New episodes are released daily. For more information, check out glossahouse.com and subscribe to our channels on Spotify and YouTube. Welcome and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Proof Text. I am Michael Halcomb and I'm here with J.M. Smith. He who runs the Disciple Dojo. And you need to head over to discipledojo.org and check out all the free, great resources there. Jim, you got the Holy is... Well, the screen went a little blurry on me as soon as I started reading it. Holy is the lamb who was the slain lamb. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, holy is the slain lamb or the lamb who was slain. But you know what's interesting about your shirt, just looking at it, to arnion to esphagmenon, you don't have a relative pronoun in there. You just have two articles, although the relative pronoun could possibly function as, you function that way. But you have the same article twice, right? To and to.
Yeah.
So really it's holy, and you could do it like this: holy is he, the slain lamb. That's probably the best translation there. Yeah, or
I leave that up to you Greek
not
scholars.
Worthy is he. Yeah, the slain.
Yeah, I leave that up to y'all, and I just design the shirts and put them on our dojo website. So if anybody wants their worthy, I don't know if you can see it says worthy across it in blood. So
I do.
it's the whole idea is so any worthiness we have is because of the intrinsic worthiness of the having been slain lamb.
Yeah, I was translating it aion there at first, holy, but yeah, worthy, axiom. Yeah, interesting. Worthy is he, the slain lamb. I like it. That actually, worthy is the lamb who was slain sounds good. We're familiar with that, but I like worthy is he, the slain lamb. To me, that sounds better. Even more poetic. But,
more poetic, more hymnic.
Yeah. Well, this is 10 questions where we each get 5 questions to ask of one verse. No answers, although in a previous episode I snuck an answer.
We skirt the line a little bit on that one.
So the idea is just to show you sort of curious lenses that we bring to the task of reading scripture. That's it. And hopefully that'll encourage you to do the same. JM never knows what verses I'm going to throw his way. In this episode, we are going to look at Psalm 34:10. So if you're watching, I'm going to pull that up, and you'll be able to see it on the screen here in English and in Hebrew, Psalm 34:10. And we're going to discuss this. So in English, the NIV says, "The lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing." On the surface, this just sounds absurd to me, right? It sounds like a non-axiom, a non-saying, a nonsensical point. So it's scripture, so it's got to be something else, right? The lions may grow weak and hungry. All right, you have that about lions. The lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek the Lord, so there's a contrast, lack no good thing. All right, so Jam, you want to lead this one off? You want me to? Where do you want to go?
Well, all right. It's taken me a second because the numbering in Psalms is different from English and Hebrew and Greek.
Yep. If you go up on top of this one, you get 2 Psalm 34:1s.
Yeah.
So there's, what is it, Psalm 34:11 in yours?
It's the Hebrew is 34:11, and then if you're in an English, I'm using accordance, and it kind of syncs in weird sometimes. So that's why it took me a minute. I saw the English, but the Hebrew was not remotely that. So I have to change my search verse in my Hebrew to match. So we make it work. We're getting there. All right. My question. Actually, I did the first question for the New
in a
Testament.
previous episode. Yeah. All right, I got a question ready to go. My first question is: these lions that are mentioned, the kefirim, are these literal like animal lions, or are they like figurative, symbolic, like talking about like ravenous people, like people trying to destroy people? So,
Hmm.
symbolic or literal, these lions?
My question will piggyback on yours because there are a lot of words for lion in Hebrew,
Yeah, right.
and
Yeah.
and I wonder if that's, how like you hear Eskimos have
Hmm.
like 20 words for snow or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder if there is a difference between all the words for lions, and if this
Hmm.
is a particular type of because this is poetry and we want to get the image of the poem. So are
Hmm.
these, like, I'm looking at the gloss in Hallett, is young lion. So is
Yeah.
this,
Right.
what is this young, are the words young lion like a lion with a mane versus a female lion, a mountain lion? Uh
Mm.
what kind of specific, whether your question I guess was who are the identity of these, and my question is,
Yeah.
and even that, even if it's literal, what literal type of lions are we supposed to be picturing? Mufasa,
Mm.
or
Yeah.
wait, what was the Lion King's name? Simba. It took me a second. So yeah, that's my question. What are these kafarim? Kafirim. What are these
Yeah.
kafirim?
Yeah. Good. Yes. And let's see. Uh. Well, I'm wondering because I saw the start of the next verse. It says, "Come, my children, and listen to me. I'll teach you the fear of the Lord." Um, is there a connection then? If these are young lions, uh, is there some connection? I don't even know what it'd be like between these young lions, perhaps, if that's what they are, and these young children. Um, so is that a connection between 10 and 11? Something I'm curious about.
Hmm. My question is going to be, my second question is going to be, is this is this a proverb hidden in the Psalms? Like, is this this sounds like the book of Proverbs, even the next verse that you read of "Come, children, listen." I mean, that's straight out of
Yep.
Proverbs. So, is this a blending of genres? Do we have a proverb being sung? Um,
Hmm.
yeah, because that'll condition how we read it, I think, or at least it would for how I
Yeah.
read it.
Well, I started by saying this seems nonsensical to me. Like, what does the hunger, the weakness and hunger of a lion have to do with those seeking the Lord lacking nothing? Like, it still seems a little nonsensical to me. Unless the lions are real people, maybe. But yeah, so I guess why are the lions? This is my first question, my next question. Then I have another one going with it for my following. But why are the lions going weak and hungry? Why?
Mm,
What's causing what? Yeah, why?
yeah.
It doesn't seem like something the lion would choose to do. So why are the lions going weak and hungry?
Mm. Um, my question, I'm just scrolling through the psalm trying to get an overview, and the opening, the heading of the psalm is, which in Hebrew is the first verse, but it's you saying this is nonsensical is what made me wonder, because it's when David pretended to be crazy in front of Abimelech so that he drove him out, so he departed. So is he intentionally making nonsensical imagery,
Wow, wow, dude,
or
that's a
or at
brilliant
least
question.
is it
Yeah.
supposed to not be very, and I have not done any study on this psalm yet. We're only on Psalm 11 in our Disciple Dojo study. So that's what I'm going to be asking when I get to this psalm to teach on it.
Yeah, that's a brilliant question. It really is. I just noticed something is scrolling through this too. If you look at the preceding verse, fear the Lord, all right, you his holy people, for those who fear him lack nothing. Now, there it says those who fear him lack nothing, at least in the English. And then our verse says those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. Yeah, so which is it, or is it a both and? Um, those who fear him lack nothing, those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. So those seem to be saying similar things, but also different things. I guess lacking nothing isn't the same as lacking no good thing. So what is going on? Like, yeah, what? That wasn't even supposed to be my next question. So I'm. That's a bonus. This my next question, right? My previous ones is why are the lions getting weak and hungry? And then the next one, what in the world does that have to do with people who seek the Lord lacking no good thing? I just right now at this moment I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like
Go ahead.
I don't know. It's like truck drivers may get sleepy and like dehydrated, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. Like it just, it just seems like that you could do it with anything, right? Like soccer players may you know get tired and frustrated, but those who seek the you could like put anything in place of this. In place of the lions may grow weak and hungry. Yeah.
Well, that's a great.
So
What question are we on for me? Is this 3 or
I think
4?
I don't know. That was 4 for me, 3 or 4.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think my fourth one then would be piggybacking again off yours is noting that is there a Hebrew wordplay or assonance or something that would make this? Is there something that would connect it a little more logical? That that is missing when you bring it into English, and I don't know, but I'm wondering if there is a synonym or a form of or a word that sounds like one of the words for lions in the previous verse. Like the word, like one of the words is ari. So is there something that sounds like ari in the early verse, or kafir, or any of these words for lions? That's what I would start asking and looking is there any other lion type imagery in this psalm anywhere? Or a sound, like, is there any word that sounds like a word for lions or something like that? So that would be my question, and it may be nothing. It may be a dead end question, but that's why we ask these questions, is to show people what we would ask if we were studying this. So that's where I'd go.
That's great. Yeah, I think that's a great point. I was noticing that you have the rashu here, and then the dorashe. So you have a little bit of wordplay even there, a little bit of rhyme with the rush sound. But
Ooh, I've got my
that's
fifth
good.
one, so I'm ready to roll whenever you are, because I just saw something.
Okay. All right. Yes. So, and the one seeking the Lord, not cheser, cheseru. Yeah. Man, I'm. I guess I am gonna go back to what I was saying before. What is there a significant difference between? Well, this says lacking nothing and lacking no good thing.
Hmm.
We call tov. We don't have that in the previous verse. Yeah. So what's is that a good translation? A, and if it is, what's the difference in lacking nothing and lacking no good thing?
All right. My last question is, why does the Septuagint not have lion at all, but instead it
Oh
has
man.
the rich ones will go hungry, or the rich begin to beg and go hungry?
Wow. Okay.
So
Let's pull up
where is the
Septuagint.
Septuagint getting rich ones from young lions?
Very good, man. Yeah. You pulled out that Septuagint stop on us in a previous episode a few times, so good on you.
Oh,
Um Boy, that
I
makes
always
such a
ask that
difference that
as a Hebrew person. I
Lucy.
always want to know, what did the
Yes.
Greek
You should.
say, and it frequently raises
Yeah.
some interesting questions.
I'm curious too. I want to see what the Latin says. Let's just do that before we leave. Um,
Oh man, I hadn't done Latin since ninth grade. I'm gonna lean
yeah,
heavy on
but
you.
it comes back pretty easily. I think for most people. Uh, yeah, divitas. Hmm. Um, divitas. Wow. You've heard of the dives, right?
Hmm.
What literary thing am I thinking of? Dives, is that
That's
the
the
seven
name
novels
of
of Dante?
that's that's the name of the rich man, right? Traditionally, in the parable
Wow.
of Lazarus,
Oh, and Lazarus and the Rich Man dives?
I've seen people
Well, that
refer to him by that name. I never knew where it came from.
this is it. This is where it comes from.
So is it Latin
Yeah.
for rich?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Huh.
Um yep, comes from the Latin divis. Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. So so the Vulgate
Yeah.
follows the Septuagint,
Yeah.
and they
Yep, it
diverge from the
does.
Hebrew. Hmm.
Yeah, they diverge. Where they diverge. Um,
Diverge.
get that wordplay, dives, diverge, diverge. Anyway. Um well, that's interesting. Boy, now I just feel like we spent a whole episode uh talking about nothing important. This is the really important thing. Um yeah. Dude, good job bringing that up. I wish I had thought of that, so I'm a little jealous. Yeah.
I'm just
But
overcompensating for my lack of good Greek.
man, yeah, well, you'd think for one who's claiming to be a Greek scholar, I would have been the one bringing that up. But good on you, man. Boy, that yeah, you have the plural divitas, Lucy, um, and then kefirim. Boy, the NIV maybe. What are some of your other English translations saying there? Have you
I'm
looked at some?
looking I'm looking at I had Logos open as well. So everything has lions, young lions, except the Septuagint. All the other RSV, NRSV, ESV, King James, they all have young lions. And
Hmm.
yeah, Septuagint is the only one that has the rich.
Wow. And the Latin. Yeah. Wow. Huh. So that tells you, right, that the English translations are tending to follow the Hebrew there then.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Uh and that also, I guess, a bonus question, can Kefarim in any context be translated rich? Um
That's what I would immediately start asking is, does it have the connotation of like we used to call somebody young buck, and we mean somebody that's like young and in the prime of their life, but buck is literally a male deer. So is that something going on in Hebrew, which I don't know. I don't know the answer to.
Well, yeah, this is fascinating. So yeah, friends, if you're watching, listening, hope you're finding it interesting. Hope you're learning some stuff. Let's pause here on this. Tell you again, check out discipledojo.org. Lots of great stuff over there. Glossa House as well. Check out the Disciple Dojo YouTube page and the Glossa House YouTube page as well. And yeah, JM, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
And thanks everybody for listening. Watch, like, subscribe, whatever. We'll stop there and say we hope that helps.
Interested in growing your ancient language skills but not sure where to start? Glossa House can help. From illustrated readers and short stories to lexicons and grammars, Glossa House offers a variety of resources for beginning, intermediate, and experienced ancient language learners. Head to glossahouse.com today. Glossa House, language resources for the global community.